Hi everyone! In today's video I'm going to be showing you Suqqu's new 2025 autumn-winter colour story. Now first of all I'd like to show you the range from when I was actually in store in Selfridges at their pre-launch. So I've got swatches of the entire range to show you. It is a bit noisy, so bear with me, but you'll still be able to see the swatches really well. You'll still be able to hear me. It's just noisy because we're in a department store. Take a look and then we'll come back to show you what I bought and we'll sort of try it all on and see what we think. Now there are 20 new eyeshadow singles in 4 different finishes, and there are 4 lipstick shades as well in the new collection, and there are also 2 new blushes which come with a kind of built-in highlighter. So first of all, let's take a look at the whole range and see what it looks like in Selfridges before we come back into here. Here are the new lip products highlighted for this collection. So at the top, this is an existing shade, 06. Further down, it's a new shade, number 13. This is the one I think I'm going to go for. And below, we have a limited shade, 109, which has got a slight lavender base to it. And I've also swatched a new lip gloss shade as well. Look at the high shine. I've got all the single Suqqu eyeshadows here. I'm going to swatch them all for you. They come in 4 finishes. They come in Prism, which are the shifty shades, which are here. They come in Luster, which have got a good bit of metallic in them. And they come with Satin, which is this row here, and then 4 matte shades. I'm going to swatch them all for you, starting with Prism. So here we've got the Prism shades, 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's number 2 that I've got on my eyelids at the moment. Really, really lovely, and they are very shifty. The mint is actually, it's kind of more soft than it looks actually, I think. And here we've got the Luster shades. One of them is limited edition. So the Luster shades are L01, next to it L02, L3, which is this one, L4, which is the lovely brownie shade, and then below we've got L5, which is here, and this is the limited edition. It's a lovely lavender shade. That's definitely one I'll be buying. So as I said, important to remember that the lavender is the limited edition. So with Suqqu, when it's gone, it's gone. So these are the Lusters. Of the new Suqqu singles, here are the satin shades, and one of them is a limited edition. Can you guess which one? So it's S01, and moving along, S02, that lovely brown shade, S03, a very soft peachy bronze, S04 is that lovely pink, and S05, a soft apricot, and then this one is the limited edition. And here are the mattes, 4 of them. Here we go, M01, M02, M03 and M04. Look at the pigment on the M04, and there's something there for everyone. Here are the blushes. We have got 07 with its corresponding highlighter, and then we've got 08 with its corresponding highlighter. So basically they come in one palette and it kind of fades from the blusher into the highlighter, so you can see there. This is the one, this is 07, that's what I've got on my cheeks at the moment, but I'm not sure, honestly, in this lighting whether you can see it, but that's the one that I'll be buying. There they are. If we just smudge them, I wonder whether we get a better, yeah, you get a sense of, the effect. 07, 08, much lighter, much fairer. Iroko-sane is Suqqu's 2025 autumn collection. There was so much to choose from. The collection is very, very large. There are so many singles to choose from, as you will have seen from my video in Selfridges. There are lipsticks and there are 2 new blusher shades, one of which is a limited edition. Now, I bought 2 of the single eyeshadows. I bought a luster and a prism. Now, the luster that I bought is called KOUSUMIRE, and that is here, and it is described as a glint purple with large silver pearls to create a luminous, airy glow. You can see that why it's a luster, but also you can see that pearlized quality that it has. I have to say, it goes on so smoothly onto the back of my hand. I'm really looking forward to putting this actually on my eyelids. I really am. And next, I bought a prism. This prism is 02 RINRAI. It's not limited edition, this one. It's a prism copper with pink-green polarized pearls that shift with movement, creating a multi-dimensional, expressive finish. Beautiful. You can really see the shift in the prism shade at the top, the RINRAI, how much it changes. Of the blushes, the one that interested me the most was this one. This is called AYANOZOMI. And I'll tell you what it is. It's a lovely soft blush, and then it goes on to the highlighting shade, which is a sort of corresponding highlighting shade. AYANOZOMI is described as a muted red with a touch of azuki bean with a pearl-rich pink highlight to create an innocent, softly blushing glow. I thought it was worth getting this because even though, you know, I have got my favourite highlighters, the fact that this really will correspond with the blusher was really of interest to me. Plus I tried it in store and I could see it really worked. But I'm interested to see how it's going to work, you know, at home with my own lighting and my own brushes. And here's the lipstick tone that I chose. Number 13, HANAUREI. This is described as a dusty purple infused with smoky, milky tones for a modern chic look. It's a muted hue which adds refinement to any makeup style. I'm so looking forward to trying this actually on my lips. I really am. Look at that lovely sheen, but also these kind of tones, these kind of my lips but better tones are always such an absolute delight. You can see it there with the blush. I love a single eyeshadow. I love that whole one and done thing, but with a single, because what I appreciate is the kind of enforced self-control, because I have no self-control, you know that. I really enjoy that. So to that end, when I bought these 2, I just thought, oh, I can have 2 completely different looks and use my favourite one and done palette, which is paradoxically this one, the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt, because what I like to do is just carve out sort of the shape and contour of my eye and then generally with a finger smush on something exciting. And then I'm kind of halfway there. Thought we'd try it with both of these 2. Now, I've already put the middle shade from here, just in the corner, just to give a bit of shape, and I put a little bit underneath. And so I'm ready. I don't know whether if I just use my finger for this, which is the limited edition Mauve shade, if I just use my finger, I'll probably get the full pizzazz, because remember, this is a luster. What the lusters do, I've got it written here, is because they contain large pearls, they give off this, what they call dazzling radiance. So I was wondering what it was going to be like if I just used a brush to begin with, and then we can always go in with the old finger next. But let's see what it's like with a brush. I'll use my Shodo 03 because these are sort of fluffy and relatively forgiving. So tapped off, and let's see what we get. Ooh, what we get out of it. I think we get something interesting out of it. I'm going to bring you closer actually, and that way I've really got nowhere to hide now. I don't think I mentioned, these come with a little mirror as well. Really cute, really handy. Let's just put this on. Now, what they say is they've actually played with oils in this range of singles. So each one's got different kinds of oils on to get a kind of smooth blend. So what it says with this one is, while there's no fallout, the oil will give a smooth adhesion to the eyelid and blends evenly, creating a polished, jewel-like glow with a refined touch. I want to be the kind of person that if anybody talked about me, they'd say, oh, she's got a refined touch. Quite like that. Anyway, so look, this is what I've done. I've just brushed it on with my Shodo 03, and this is what we get. So just have a look at that. Now I'm going to go in with my finger because, you know, why not? But as you can, I just wanted to say, as you can see, that with mascara, I'm out the door. I could put a little bit of, you know, Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal on, and in fact I may yet do that. But let's smush a bit on with the finger and see what happens. I purposely chose two shimmery shades, not because I don't like Suqq's matte shades, because as I will show you later, I have long loved Suqqu eyeshadows, but it's always been the quads that I've bought. I'm confident in their mattes, but I just wanted to try these in the new formula because these are going to give me a little bit more va-va-voom. Now we've got a bit more on there. I rather like that. What do you think? What I'll do is let's go on to the next eye, and then what I'll probably do is I'll put a little bit of Rock and Coal, probably in brown maybe, on this one, or maybe actually I could use the plum. Let's see, maybe to invite a little bit more depth, but let's see. Keep an eye on this as you've seen it, and now let's go on to the prism. I was going to say luster, the prism. Now the prism, remember, looks like this, and this is the one that's got this kind of shift. Well, not even a kind of shift, it is a shift. Remember when you saw that on the previous hand swatches. With this one, I'm definitely just going to go in with my finger, and let's see. What I loved about this, and I loved this shade immediately actually on counter in Selfridges, is the fact that you get this lovely soft shift. I mean, it's a dramatic shift, but it's still soft. So I thought it would be very kind of work friendly and daytime friendly, and I wanted to show it to you because it may well be that you're like me and you do want to have a lovely eye look, but you don't want to scare the horses and you don't want people at work or indeed anywhere else kind of thinking, okay, I'll just humour her. I can see that wash across people's expression sometimes when they're talking to me, and I just want you to know, if you're out there, I see you. Anyway, so we've put this. Let's see what that's like. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes so you can have a look. You see, they're very easy, aren't they? Was there any fallout? Let me just check. No, and there was no fallout even from the one with the finger. That's very good. Because the whole point about a one and done or a single, it seems to me, is you don't want to be fiddling around with getting rid of fallout. While, you know, a bit of fallout doesn't bother me at all. But if this is the kind of day I'm having, that a one and done and a single is in my future, I don't have time to be fiddling about with extra concealer and, you know, concealer brushes and so on. I need my eyeshadows to work with me, hand in glove. Okay, now why don't I, because I'm feeling a bit adventurous, see if I can put a little bit of the lilac in the inner corner. Have I got my, yes I have. I have got my Refa 21, my trusty Refa 21. Let's just put a little bit of that in the corner, because remember, this whole range, Suqqu tell us, is all about layering. I'm just going to tell you what they actually say, because I did write it down here. It is Kasane no Irome, which is about the art of layered tones. I think I'm probably on brand by adding a little bit of the luster in the corner of the prism. See if we get anything there. Oh yes. Oh, that's rather lovely. So they go very nicely together, don't they? I wonder whether we should put a little bit of the main shade here, which is the Prism, underneath. Let's see what happens. Now remember, I have got a bit of the Natasha Denona, the middle, this middle shade, which is, you know, it's matte. It's nothing, you know, nothing too scary. But let's do a little bit of mix and match, shall we? And put that underneath. That's rather nice. So what we've got is we've got the limited edition lavender all over this eye, and I've put a little bit of the Prism shade, which is the one with the shift, just underneath. And then here I've got the Prism shade all over the lid and the limited edition lavender shade just in the corner. If I go a bit further, yes, I think it might be easier for you to see the shift in the Prism shade, which really has got that sort of 3D shift. It might be easier for you to see it. These are very usable, aren't they? They really are. Because actually, even though there's obviously very much a pearlized finish on the lavender, it's not got that, I don't mean this in a bad way, I'm just saying it's a different finish. It's not got that Charlotte Tilbury, you know, the 9 pans, where it really is, it's very shiny. It's not like that. It's not like a wet look. I don't think it's not got that kind of wet look feel. It's more subtle, but it's absolutely there. It's not wishy-washy. It's not insipid, in my view, at all. And so wearable. You know, one of the reasons why I love Suqqu makeup is it's all about subtle sophistication. It's not about clobbering you over the head with a designer brand. It's not about clobbering you over the head with iconic packaging or something like, or just kind of somehow having the brand go before the formula, that the brand is more important than your experience with the actual product. So in other words, if you took the brand away, what would you be actually left with? For me, Suqqu really marries that integrity with modernity. It's not kind of fast fashion, and by fast fashion I don't mean necessarily cheap. I just mean it's not kind of jumping on a bandwagon or bringing out a collection because it's, you know, it's been 3 minutes since the last one and they want to maximize. It always feels, Suqqu ranges always feel to me to be really considered, and that's why I would kind of urge you to look at them if you've never thought of, you know, purchasing them before or thinking about them before, because the range has got such integrity. The eyeshadows I'm absolutely a mad fan of. I've only recently started dipping my toes into the lipsticks, and actually the blusher I'm going to show you is the first blusher I've ever bought from them. So I'm kind of new but old to this. I should also tell you that when I was on counter I bought some skincare as well, and I will sort of show you that on another timestamp in case you're interested. It means you can miss it out if you're not interested. If you are interested when you see that skincare, let me know down below, because I can, you know, I can do a sort of a quick review for you as well, just in case you are interested. But anyway, back to the makeup. So why don't I put a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury, because as I was talking to you I realised I think it's the plum that we need. Now I've got to find my pencil, so I'll go away and do that. I think it's the plum that we need to try on this one, and then maybe the bronzy tone. So I'm just going to go and find my pencil and put that on top, and then we'll go on to the blushes. What I used was, I had to look for it, Fig Smolder Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal on the lavender side, and I used, oh, what's it called? The thing is, it's such a little stubby thing. The bronze one, I will write it up here from, look at that. I mean, I have got another one, but it's in my handbag downstairs. But anyway, the bronze one from Rock and Coal on this eye. And all I did was put a bit on the upper eyelid, not the lower eyelid. So let me bring you in closer to have a look, and then let's go on to the blush and lipstick. So do you see what I mean? It's subtle, but it's there, it's sophisticated, it's made an impact, but it's just not screaming and shouting, look at me, look at me. Is that my impression of an eyeshadow? I know. Anyway, blusher. There are two new blushers. The lighter one is a limited edition, but this one is now part of the permanent collection. This is 07. They have some existing, there's 6 existing, and so now they've added this one as permanent and then another one as a limited edition. But the other one was too light, definitely too light for me. Looks like that. And just to remind you, it comes with its own highlighter. Let's give this a little go. I did want to try it with its own highlighter because it felt like I would have a more homogeneous look. And also, although partly in my dreams, you do know I'm not a light packer, but if, let's say, I wanted to take 2 singles, a blusher and a few lipsticks on holiday, it would be nice to know that I have my highlighter kind of built in here. This palette also comes with a mirror as well. I mean, it's very elegant. Look how thin it is. I mean, I've just, as it happens, I've got my YSL quad here. Look at the difference. I mean, obviously it's a different aesthetic, but the Suqqu is all about not screaming and shouting. Even the logo is a self logo. I've got my hourglass dual-ended here because that's really what I would end up taking on holiday with me if I was to do this. And let's give this a little go. Very gentle. There's no shimmer in this blush, I don't think. Let's try the highlighter. Now, just to remind you, that's the blusher, that's the highlighter. So it's very much in the same shade. It's not like a sudden shade change. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's very nice. Just subtle. Should put a bit more blush on. Why not? I think that's rather nice. Very soft, not flashy, just kind of in keeping. The lipstick that I chose, I should tell you, you buy the case and then you buy the refills. And what's good about the refills, have I got the thing here? Yes. So when it comes in the refill, it looks like that. So if you're to store it in between times because you've swapped one lipstick for another, you do have this cap which is nice and, you know, solid. It's plastic but solid, if you know what I mean. And it's got, which I really like, it's got these little grooves. I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, you can. To stop the lipstick from going sweaty. Isn't that good? Oof, because you might be storing it for a while. So it looks like that. Anyway, the case is, it's just really easy to pop in. It's not difficult at all. It looks like that. There's your logo. The shade that I bought is it 13? Dear, I'm sorry. I should have remembered this from when I did the swatches, but that seems like quite a long time ago. Okay, 13. HANAUREI, of course, I should have remembered that, I'm sorry. Now all I've got is a little bit of neutral lip liner on because I always like a lip liner. I'm enjoying the glossy element of it. And bear in mind, this is the autumn range, so what may seem a little bit more plum, maybe a little bit too plummy for now, where in the northern hemisphere at least, we're in summer, you know, come October time, this is going to make a lot of sense. Although to be fair, it makes a lot of sense to me now because I just love all things Suqqu. That's what that looks like. So we've got the new blusher, the glossy lipstick, refillable, and then the 2 singles. As I said to you, I've been a fan of Suqqu for a long time, and I wanted to share with you a quad that I bought, and I know exactly when I bought it. I bought it in summer of 2018, And this has got a shelf life of 12 months. I love this. They don't make this anymore. I'm not showing it to tease you or tempt you. I'm showing it to show you my love for Suqqu. Now you can see that I've worn this a lot. They're just very, very long lasting. It's a very long lasting quad. I have particularly used 3 out of the 4 colours. The only one I haven't used as much is the very light highlighty shade. But the reason why I'm pointing it out is it's 7 years and it's still going strong. I know I'm not meant to be using it past 12 months, and probably up to about 3 years or 2 years is probably acceptable. But honestly, this has kept going and going and going. What I'm trying to say to you is the quality is absolutely there with these. I mean, I've bought, quads since, loved them, still got them, but this is my oldest one. At that time, I think I bought 3 in that year, but this was my favorite, and I think I decluttered the other 2, which of course I'm regretting, but anyway, and I regretted quite soon after, actually. However, this brand is absolutely worth your consideration. They managed to be at the same time as being of the moment. You can see the technology they're using. They are very much using the smoothest, most beautiful, finely milled powders to give us these beautiful finishes, and yet it's also timeless. And that, I think, is what resonates with me. As I said, I did buy some skincare, which I will show you later, but just as a roundup, let me show you the entire look close up before we move on to the next segment. What do you think? Have you used Suqqu, and what do you love about it? And now, actually, is it a brand that maybe you kind of thought, I'd like to try it, but maybe there's not a Suqqu counter near you, either near you or even in your country, because I know it's quite limited. In London, we have it in Harrods and Liberty, which I always forget about, and Selfridges, and of course there's Selfridges in Leeds and Manchester. But I think in the States and Canada you don't have it, but I may be wrong, but I think you don't have it. Is this a brand you're interested in? And if you are, then tell me if you want to see more of my purchases from Suqqu, either on the makeup side or indeed on the skincare side, which obviously I will, I'll share with you the items that I bought, just so you can see what could be in the pipeline if you were interested. As promised, here's a quick roundup of the skincare that I bought when I was at Suqqu in Selfridges. Now, I had the Gankin Massage, and it reminded me of the last time I had a Japanese massage, which was a few years ago, and my face was so lifted. I mean, all right, I was younger, but even so, it was just noticeable, and the effects had lasted. I mean, it was quite tough. And the effects, I would say, lasted 2 or 3 days from it. Now, this is a bit more gentle because it's self-administered, and I will not be as firm as the lady was when I had it many years ago. But when I was in Selfridges, as I said, it kind of renewed my sort of faith and interest, I suppose, in doing a daily massage. So I have bought the massage cream, and it's in a special little kit, so I get 2 generous size cleansers and a cleansing wash. So I'm going to try those as well. The massage cream, which you're meant to do morning and night. Now that is dedication for up to 3 minutes in the morning and up to 3 minutes in the evening. I don't know whether I'm going to manage that every single day. I'm being truthful, but let's see. It also comes with a lovely cloth, which actually I remember from when I first started using many years ago, like 30 years ago. Shiseido, they had these amazing cloths, and it's actually similar in that it's really sort of soft and kind of silicone-y, but you wash it and when it dries it hardens, but then it soon softens again when you moisten it with water. You also get one of these as well in the massage kit. But I also bought the toner, which is useful to use after the massage cream, and actually I fell in love with because the smell is absolutely divine. So why not? I'm not really a toner user, but this could change me. I love Japanese skincare, so I'm giving it a go. And then I bought the old bags range. I don't think it's for mature people. I think it's for dry skins, actually, this range, the Vialumi range. And this is the lotion. So there's a lotion, and then there's also a day and a night cream. And I have got samples of those as well. They've kind of given me in little pots. So I'm going to commit to using sort of the range that I've got, and then obviously it's going to need to be interspersed with everything else, because I haven't got a mask, for example, exfoliating, all that kind of stuff. But I do want to give this range a good go, and then assuming I like it, which I probably will, just because I love the smell, I love the feel when I tried it. Hopefully they're as efficacious as they are beautiful. I mean, look at this. Isn't that lovely? It's really like an obelisk. Then I'm happy to sort of add to it. However, let me know if you're interested to know how I get on in a few weeks, if that is something that is of interest to you, either with this brand or with another brand. But as I said, with Suqqu, I'm definitely gonna give it a go. Partly because I used all the products were kind of applied to me during the facial, and so I kind of feel I've got a feel for the textures and the kind of results. I think one of the reasons why the makeup was quite shiny that I had at the end was because in a good way the products are so rich and moisturizing, and we sort of didn't have time for it to kind of all sink in. It was just one of those things. Normally in a facial I wouldn't have worn any makeup at all. So I am hopeful, but let me know in the comments down below if that is something that's of interest, because I don't want to bore you, and I only want to sort of provide you with stuff that is, you know, either of interest or entertaining, or both. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Now tell me, is Suqqu a brand that you are interested in, or that you've tried before, or is it one of those brands that you think, well, it's not available in my country, I can't be bothered to be, you know, waiting for shipping and so on, and is it really that special? I don't know. I mean, is that perhaps where you're at? Or is it something that you've kind of looked at and wondered about, and now maybe you kind of think, well, actually, for example, these single eyeshadows do look more interesting, or maybe I'll dip my toe and try one of the lipsticks. Let me know down below. I would love to hear from you. You know I'm always lurking in the comments. I really am always doing that. So do let me know. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.